Hey everybody, welcome back to Magic Orthodoxy. My name's David, and this is your warning. Watch out for Magic Big Brother. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, for spending some time with me where you and we get to talk about the thing we love most, right? Magic. We get to talk about magic, and I love talking about magic. Today, I want to talk about a topic that I have been thinking about for a little while now. I think being a magic reviewer, I hear some comments maybe more than others, and notice it when even other magicians say it or other magic reviewers say it. And that's the idea that there is a magic big brother out there, right? And if you don't know the history behind the phrase Big Brother or where that came from, it's a fictional character. It's actually a symbol that was used in George Orwell's 1949 book called 1984. 1984 depicts a dystopian world, and Big Brother is the leader of a group called Oceania, which is a totalitarian state where there's a ruling party and they wield total power, and the power is all for them, and they do that at the dismay of their inhabitants. And since 1949, right, we've all been afraid of Big Brother. And this term has been misappropriated to describe everything from legitimate crime fighting to surveillance cameras to corporate email and network usage monitoring. And magic. Surprisingly, right? So I think you hear this the most when you see smaller magic companies or just individual magicians who say they have gone off on their own, right, to eliminate Big Brother, right? Hey, we're going off on our own. We're just, two guys or three people, or we're just a handful of five, and we've kind of made our own company to compete against Big Brother. We don't want Big Brother to get our money because those big magic companies, right? They're heartless, they're soulless. They're just in it to make money, right? You ever heard that? God forbid that a retail establishment was just in it to make money. Heaven forbid, right? In this capitalistic America, oh my goodness, there's companies out there that are trying to make money. How dare they? But it's true, like we hear this, and I even hear it as a criticism towards me. I will hear other magic reviewers say, well, I don't have, like Big Brother in my pocket, like no big warehouse, no big company is sending me magic, as if there's some huge, multi-million-dollar, 1,000-employee, 40 stories tall skyscraper out there sending me magic. I want to tell you something. The Big Brother mythos is just that. It's a myth. There is no Big Brother, and there's certainly no Big Brother in magic. So I'm going to pull the curtain off. I'm going to pull the curtain off and tell you something that doesn't get published very often. Not a lot of people know this. So you're going to, maybe you could hear it first, and maybe now that you know this, you can help perpetuate a new narrative. And that narrative is, there are no big magic companies. Every single magic company out there is small. They are all small businesses. Now, what would be the biggest? Now, if you had to pick, right, you're just gonna say, okay, what the biggest magic company, what's the biggest one? Murphy's, maybe? You'd say Murphy's because they're a distributor, right? They're a wholesaler. And you'd be right. Murphy's is probably the biggest. They have about 50 employees. 50. That's it. 50. Now, if I go out and Google, or you want to just double check my work, go out and Google what defines a small business. Google would tell you that any company that has between 100 and 1,000 employees is a small business. Anywhere between 100 and 1,000 is a small business. And I just told you that Murphy's Magic has 50 employees. So they have 50 less than even the starting definition of what a small business is. 50 employees is not a lot. Just to give you an idea, 50 employees is about what a nice big restaurant has. Just one restaurant. Like if it was a privately owned restaurant in your city, they probably have about 50 employees between cooks, wait staff, people at the front desk, and then you got, your HR people and your people that pay the bills and your owner. They have about 50 employees. So that small local restaurant, that dive that you love at your hometown, and whenever you're there, you're thinking to yourself, I'm supporting small business. That's about the same size as Murphy's. And Murphy's, if you don't know how they got their name, that's the last name of the family that started the business. So they are a small business, family owned. You know where their hometown is? Sacramento, California. If you've ever been to Sacramento, you know it is not this like mecca city. It's not this bursting metropolis like LA or New York. Sacramento is very small, very hometown. It used to be a big, like, just empty area with not a lot of anything. Sacramento has definitely grown over the years. They definitely have a city. Of course, they are the state capital, but they're certainly not some big, huge company that exists in Los Angeles or New York or Chicago, right? They, by definition, are small. Now, what would be some other companies? You'd think of maybe Vanishing Ink, right? Or Penguin Magic. Absolutely. Great companies, right? Great places to purchase magic from. And you're like, well, how big is Vanishing Ink? How big is Penguin Magic? They're about the same size. They have 30 employees. 30 employees. That is so small. What about Illusionist? Oh, you're like, wow, Illusionist. Oh yeah, they're huge, right? Illusionist is big. They have 8. They have 8 employees. Less than 10. Can you believe it? Illusionist has 8 employees. That is so crazy. And so when you think about how big or not big these companies are, when you have 50 employees or less, that means everybody knows each other. When you pass each other in the hall, or you share offices, or you share, there's a divider between the two of you, you know everybody. You know everybody at this business. It's a small business. It absolutely is. In fact, when I first started working with Murphy's years and years and years ago, there was a girl that was working there. Her name was Sydney. Sydney was wonderful. I emailed her all the time. We talked about stuff that wasn't even magic related. I was Facebook friends with her. She and I talked about raising kids. I knew what her son looked like. I knew when her son's birthday rolled around. She talked about things that she was going to get her son. She talked to me about her financial struggles whenever they came up. Like, we were friends. That's what happens when there isn't a lot of people in a company. You treat each other like family. You share each other's information. It is not some big, heartless, soulless corporation, okay? Big Blind Media. The word big is in the title, right? Guess how many employees Big Blind Media has? 2. And one of them is the founder and the owner, right? Obviously. And the other guy, Biz, you see in the Instagram videos. I know them both. I know the entire company of Big Blind Media. The owner, he and I email all the time about music. So he's a big, huge metalhead. He loves heavy metal. Of course, we were raised around the same time. We were both raised off the same bands. When any one of our old favorite metal bands comes out, they're going on tour, they got a new song out, we always email each other back and forth and say, hey, have you heard the latest Metallica? And we talk about it because they're a small business. They're a small business. All of these companies are small. It is a myth that magic companies are big, huge, heartless, soulless corporations. They are all small business. That means when you buy magic this year, right, at Christmas time, and people are always saying like, oh, at Christmas time, support small business. Hey, every single time you buy from Illusionist, or you buy a Murphy's Magic product, or you buy from Penguin, or Vanishing Ink, or Big Blind Media, you are supporting small business. Yes, of course, you're supporting small business when you send your money directly to the magician, right? Of course. Michael Lamar has his own website. He has his own .com. You could go to his website and buy directly from him. Doug Kahn has his own website. If you want to buy magic from Doug Kahn, you can go to his website and buy directly from him. Jay Sankey has his own website. You could go to his website and buy directly from him, of course. But don't fool yourself that that is more of a small business than the larger companies. By definition, they are all small. They are all small business. So I'm just putting that out there. I didn't want you to be afraid of Big Brother. There is no Big Brother. Don't worry. You can rest at night knowing that when you buy magic tricks, you are supporting families, you are supporting friend-owned businesses, you are supporting small business when you purchase magic. Okay? Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye. Hey, would you like to learn a magic trick? You would? Did you know I have a second channel? That's right. I have a second channel where I teach beginning level magic tricks. Magic Channel Card Tricks is a place that you can go to learn tricks with ordinary items you can find around the house. Paper clips, rubber bands, pens, and of course, decks of cards. I teach beginning level card tricks, simple card tricks, simple card forces that anybody could learn. I also review magic kits. So if you go buy a magic kit from the store, your local Walmart or Target, or you get a magic kit for Christmas, I'll go over exactly what's inside. And I'll even teach you how to perform with some of those tricks that you get inside those kits. Plus, I'm even gonna give you video instruction to very simple, very inexpensive tricks that you can pick up at your favorite magic store. Sometimes you get those tricks and the instructions are just on a tiny little piece of typewritten paper and you have no idea how to do that trick. Don't throw that trick away. Don't put it in a box. Come back to Magic Channel Card Tricks and I will teach you how to use that trick as well. Or maybe you're not a beginner. Maybe you're not a beginner, but maybe you have a niece or a nephew or a little brother or sister that you could share this channel with them. This is a great, safe place, kid-friendly, where they can learn beginning level magic. Make sure you head on over to Magic Channel Card Tricks, give my videos a like, subscribe to that channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for being a part of Magic Orthodoxy.